Guys, hello and welcome to the Liberian TV network. Today we are here at Mika's press briefing. Keep posted as we bring you details
My
and presses
vocal is
Kedikopo.
the press. And those that actually fall in this broadcast or press briefing, I greet you all. I'm in a position where I'm the last speaker. It means I have to be as short as I can be to keep the momentum as was concluded by my friend, the DG of the CSA. So I'll be very short. But it's important that you know some of the things we do at the office of the Ombudsman. First, I'd like to begin. I was invited by the minister and told to be here by 11:30 to afford me the opportunity to have a briefing with the minister. I did not arrive on time. I came late. That was 28 minutes after the program should have begun. Notwithstanding, I subsequently understood that we had some technical problems, but that's not an excuse. That was a complete violation of the Code of Conduct. And the chairperson or the office of the Ombudsman should not be in the business of violating Section 11.18 of the Code of Conduct. That is, all employees of government, once they are being invited to programs and events of this kind, they are expected to be in time and to be on time such that they are going to exercise the duty. I owe this to the minister and those that are on the platform, because I'm very sorry to be late. I am not going to be late for subsequent events. And that means all those in government today are to live or work in a different manner. You need to be in compliance with ethical principles. Attend programs on time and do that with the sense of passion and dignity. We need to do that. I'm told to have a conversation on achievements. Have we actually achieved in terms of my own expectation as the head of the Ombudsman office? I would definitely tell you no. We have not. I want to tell you bits and pieces of things that we have done that some of my colleagues would classify as achievement for 2025. So we have a partnership ongoing with the UNDP that will afford us the opportunity in order to enhance our capacity as staff and tools within that. It's something good to report to you. In terms of data value, we don't know, but the UNDP and the Office of Ombudsman, they are in a deeper conversation. For recent, we received a vehicle that is put at 43,000 plus from the lead, which is one of the agencies of USAID that is close enough. So they gave us a vehicle along with two computers and laptop, two laptop computers, 6 chairs, and a table. Those equipments and vehicles have been turned over to the GSA for proper cooling. Those are property of the government, the Republic of Liberia, and we only happen to be the custodian of them. We are in a conversation with the European Union, specifically with the Danish Ombudsman office that have been providing mentorship to our own office in terms of operational support and efficiency. Like many other government agencies, we are new on the block. Of course, we are not new as now. I understand that the Tourism Board is one of the newest agencies now on the block, so we actually lost that to them. We need capacity, and we have capacity in training gap, logistics, now manpower, And in terms of our operational efficiency, one of the challenges we have has been most of our actions have been challenged by Liberians and individuals. And when matters appear before court, it creates frustration for the office of the Ombudsman. Why are we frustrated because matters appear before court is that the court process is delays. It has a lot of challenges in there. From filing an action in the court, there's a lack of transparency in our process. From seeking hearing, of course, that's really challenging. And for even conducting hearing and receiving minutes from the courts, those are all challenges. How can we improve that? We communicated with the leadership of the court a number of times to improve the processes because that actually inhibits the Liberians' ability to access justice within time. Not only Liberians, but that will inhibit our ability to attract foreign investment to this country if we are going to be delayed in paying matters before us. One of the things that we have got to do, we have to investigate cases. Today, we have about 63 cases that are being recorded before the Office of the Ombudsman. And these cases range from allegations of political participation, harassment, nepotism, conflict of interest, and a number of ethical breaches. We are dealing with these cases, those that are before us. But I'd like to make specific mention of one of the cases that was just recently resolved. Because resolved in Australia. And it's a matter between Mr. J. Bernard Nambwe versus the Honorable Mamon Water College. That matter was involved an allegation of payment of rent to a government official, and the government official has not provided the service to that private individual. But the Mama Water College and the team appeared before the Ombudsman and they complied with the procedural framework there. We don't want to know that because she exhibited a higher standard in terms of appearing before the Ombudsman office. I would appreciate all the folks who are in government, be it an elected official, an appointed official, the public servant, to at all times obey the rules of ethics. Honorable Workoli, big sister, thank you for appearing and being adherent of the code of conduct. Not only that, the Honorable Director Brian Lasana appeared before the office of the Ombudsman and was very humble, following the rules and procedures as provided for under the Ombudsman, complying with the procedural and the ethical standard before the office. And when she slipped a little bit, she was fined $100 to be paid at the central bank, and she complied with that in time. And I must tell you here that the Honorable Director Brown Lasana herself went to the LRA, collected the bill, walked to the bank, stood in the queue, and paid that fine. We think that is something worth mentioning to all of us who have had interaction. Of course, the Honorable Smith, who sits at the Liberia Petroleum Refinery Company, has been in compliance with the procedural ethics at the office of the Ombudsman. And a number of other people. But there are a number of people that are defiant to ethical principle of this country. Through the million are also. All those that appear before the office of the Ombudsman at all times are expected to abide by all laws and regulations of the Republic of Liberia. If you are fined and you have a responsibility to pay in government revenue and also to pay that fine in time, and if you are urged to do something, please do that. That takes us to a section that we call monitoring assessment. About a week ago, we were doing a monitoring, or a regular monitoring of government facilities and government employees. We do that overt and we do that covertly. We must tell the minister here that we appreciate the structure that he has actually put in place. Our team have monitored, reported to us that the Honorable Minister ensured that all vehicles that come here are going to be parked in the sequential orders. Those who come will be accorded courtesy as required under the Code of Conduct, and we haven't had any reporting. Thank you, Mr. Minister, for according the Liberian people what it takes in order to have a public service before you. Talking about that, the Minister of Justice was in blatant violation of the Code of Conduct when the Kakata prison facility wrongly used a government vehicle that was assigned to that entity to be used for inmates. That vehicle was to be used to take inmates to prison for court hearing, take them to funerals if there is a reason to do that, take them for family visit if the court will allow that, and basically forward the inmate. That vehicle has been used on 2 occasions. And one of the occasions, our monitor actually observed that. The deputy superintendent of that office communicated to the superintendent of the Mororo Central Prison and said, we have some coal, charcoal, that we have here at the Kakata Central Prison. We do not use charcoal, we use wood because of the rubber. We'd like to have this charcoal transported to the Monrovia Central Prison for use. Good initiative. The Monrovia Central Prison has a pickup truck for operation that should be used for that purpose. But they did not use that pickup truck. Instead, they decided to use the vehicles that were actually intended for inmates. They stocked the coal in there, at least 52 bags of coal that deaded the seat of that vehicle. The driver was driving in a way that actually was in contravention of our vehicle and traffic rules. Our monitor had a meeting, and they actually accordingly apologized. The Office of the Ombudsman is having a communication that's going to be sent to the ministers, and the appropriate sanctions will be levied against the minister and those who are actually misuse the government vehicle. Talking about that, we found 3 government vehicles, one in Nema, that folks actually stripped the marking on it, and that vehicle was transporting personal material for building or for construction work. Our monitor attempted to get the details, and they did not get a favorable cooperation from the driver and the occupant of that. We left that vehicle, the monitor is still following that. Whilst traveling from Tomago, we saw another government vehicle that concealed the marking on the vehicle and began to use that vehicle in order to take agricultural material from one end to another. That vehicle was not the Ministry of Agriculture vehicle. Again, the occupant of that vehicle was a little bit violent. Our monitor was not able to get details. But through the medium, we are encouraging all citizens that will come across people wrongly using our vehicles, our buildings, our computers, the pens, the ink. You can report those. The argument that you can report those, and we'll try as much as we can to investigate those matters. Since the operation of the Code of Conduct by the Ombudsman Office, we find a number of challenges to the law itself. For example, the law does not have a penalty in there for sectionalism. It does not have a section in there for tribalism. Nor does it have anything in there for extortion. And so what we managed to do is that, working with the Law Reform Commission, we are seeking a framework to enhance those, to have new section of definition of penalty in the law for those. Alongside that, we are having conversation with the Law Reform Commission And once that document is done, it's going to be going to share that with the president and those in the legislative branch and begin to lobby that when an asset is declared, that asset should be declared publicly. Once you now follow the procedure with LCC, and LCC are giving you a certificate, whatsoever, we think it's going to be a good thing to declare that asset. Because government has got to be a different thing. If we are in government, we cannot be keeping information. A house that you own, it is not a security threat. Neither is it the web that you are married to. Not a security threat. Or if you have some money in the bank, that is not a security threat. What is a security threat is for you to conceal those and people do not know where they are. They must speculate. And we think if the Law Reform Commission get that thing done and the lobbying process style, we appreciate the press and Liberian people to insist working